So if you're an author, you know that finishing the book is just the first hurdle. The real challenge, figuring out how to market it. Well, today we're going to break down Joanna Penn's essential guide to turn that feeling of dread into a real strategy for success. Okay, this quote from Joanna Penn, man, it just hits home for so many writers. You pour everything you have onto the page, the book is finally a real thing, and then it just sits there. You know that sinking feeling where the pride of creating it starts to get replaced by the panic of promoting it? This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? This is what separates a finished manuscript from a successful author career. So how do you actually bridge that gap between this amazing thing you created and the readers who are out there just waiting to discover it? All right, so before we jump into the solutions, let's talk about the nightmare first. It all starts with Joanna's own story. And it's a story that's going to feel so familiar if you've ever had that experience of staring at a box of your own books, just collecting dust. Yeah, this was a huge wake-up call for her. I mean, think about it. 2,000 copies of her book and absolutely no idea how to sell them. And that's when she really learned a tough lesson. Writing a book and marketing a book are two completely different skills. So that realization, it leads us to what is probably the single biggest hurdle for most writers. And look, it's not really about tactics or tricks. It's about a complete mindset shift that can honestly change everything. Okay, this right here is the absolute core of it. You have to totally reframe what marketing even is. It's got nothing to do with being some kind of sleazy salesperson. It's about connection. It's about being generous and sharing something you love with the people who are actually going to love it too. And it all really boils down to this principle of know, like, and trust. The simple truth is people do business with people they, well, know, like, and trust. So your job isn't to sell a product. Your job is to build a real, authentic community around what you've created, one person at a time. Okay, so once you have that new mindset locked in, you're ready to build something that's actually going to last. Let's look at the core strategy for building a sustainable author career, and that's your home base. You know, I absolutely love this distinction here. Just think about it like real estate, right? Your author website is the land that you own. Social media, on the other hand, that's just an apartment you rent. The platform owner, the landlord, can change the rules on you. They can change the algorithm. They can kick you off anytime. So Penn calls this the Author 2.0 model. And seriously, it is a total game changer. It's simple. Your website is your hub. Every single thing you do to market your book, every tweet, every post, every interview, it's all just a signpost pointing people back to that one place online that you completely own and control. That is how you build a direct relationship with your audience that no algorithm can ever mess with. All right, so you've got the mindset, you've got the home base. Now let's get into some specific tactics you can actually use to connect with readers and, sell some books. One of the easiest ways to connect with more readers is just to remove the barriers to entry. And let's talk price. It turns out, based on a ton of data, that $3.99 seems to be this magic sweet spot for self-published ebooks. It's the price that helps authors get the most readers and make the most money. This quote, oh man, it is the perfect summary of the 80-20 rule for social media. Think of it this way. 80% of the time, you should just be sharing stuff that's useful, inspiring, or entertaining for other people. And then only 20% of the time, you can talk about your own stuff. It's all about give, 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 and then you can ask. That's how you build that trust we were talking about. And hey, speaking of trust, we have to talk about reviews. Look, the temptation to cut corners here is massive, but it's a trap. It really is. Buying reviews, creating fake accounts, it will absolutely destroy your credibility, maybe forever. The only real path forward is the slow, authentic one. Build genuine connections, and you'll earn honest reviews. Okay, for this last section, and this is a big one, let's zoom way out for a second. Because this isn't just about selling a book anymore. This is about reframing your entire identity. And that brings us to this final, absolutely crucial shift in how you see yourself. You're not just an artist. You are an author entrepreneur. You're the CEO of your own writing business. And that means you have to start treating your book not just as a piece of art, but as the core asset of that business. So what does that actually mean? Well, look at this. Your book isn't just one thing. It's a whole portfolio of different rights. Every single one of these, print, ebook, audio, even film rights, is a separate asset. Each one can generate its own stream of income, potentially for your entire life. Now that changes the game, doesn't it? So that's really the ultimate takeaway here. When you stop thinking about marketing as selling and start thinking of it as connection, and when you start seeing yourself as an entrepreneur, you take back control. Your book is so much more than a story. It's the cornerstone of a business you can build. So the real question isn't just, how do I sell this book? The question is, what career will you build with it?